and this is another installment of my Medieval America series. This is 2 Island Castles, and in this video we travel way up north in New York to the border between Canada and America on the St. Lawrence River to visit 2 castles, Boldt Castle and Singer Castle, each on its own island. So we go way up past Syracuse, New York, and this Google map here will show you about where we are. That Google pin is Singer Castle, and Boldt Castle is not far. But in a nice, beautiful little place called Alexandria Bay, the home of 1,000 islands. It actually has almost 2,000 islands, and the wealthy industrialists of time go by have bought these islands and built homes and castles on them. But I really liked Alexandria Bay. It's a beautiful little town with shopping and just very picturesque and New England-esque. But we're going to be doing something called taking a boat tour on Uncle Sam's boats. Uncle Sam boat tours. It's about an hour out to Singer Castle first, right there, and there is Singer Castle. And excuse the shakiness of the video. Some of these videos are a little shaky. This one because I was on a boat. But isn't that something? But what I'm going to try to do with these videos about the castles is I'll tell you the story of how the funds were raised. You know, how the person or people managed to come up with the financial wherewithal to do it. And I'll also tell you any interesting stories that I discover about the castles. But there's the boat tour. See, and now we've docked at Singer Castle on Dark Island, which is kind of cool. And we'll take a look at the outside, then we'll go inside. But let me tell you the story of this castle, which just captivated me. The man who built it, he was, what was his name? His name was Frederick Bourne. And it was constructed in 1905. He was an entrepreneur in the thread and fabric trades of the famous Singer sewing machine company, you know, as it evolved over the years. And so that's how he made his money. And an interesting thing about this castle, interesting story, is that he read a book by a writer called Sir Walter, what was his name? Sir Walter Scott. And in the book was a castle. And Bourne was so captivated by that castle that he hired an architect to build it. And I just think that's remarkable. You know, just how people can manifest something like that to bring it into a reality. First you had the writer imagine the story and the castle, and then you had the Bourne come along and have the wherewithal to actually make it a reality. And he from my understanding is that it's almost identical to the story in the book. So the name of the book is Woodstock, and it's almost unreadable because it's Old English. It's very, old. But I just think that's quite remarkable. So there's some stuff about the castle, and there's the book. I think that's a modern cover. I don't think back then when it was published. And I think the story takes place around 1650, I believe so. But look at that stonework. Isn't that beautiful? So I love this castle. There's a lot of stories about this castle. They should make a movie about it. You know, it has secret passages and the family that lived in it and just the things that happened. You know, they had like 30 some odd servants, and they took the servants wherever they traveled, anywhere in the world, with them. And see, this room is probably my favorite. This is just a big, beautiful sunroom. And big breakfast in that room must be remarkable. But you can actually stay here. It has a season, and it's $775 a night, approximately. So that's pretty hefty price, but look at that. I had to take a picture of that because of the jousting nights. So that's it. That's Singer Castle. How he came up with the money to do it, and an interesting little story about how it became a reality. Yeah, I like that. And we'll end this with this nice tapestry. So let's move on now. We get back on the ferry, and we're going to another island in Alexandria Bay called Hart Island, Heart. And this castle is Boldt Castle. And I have a little bit about how George Boldt, how he built it. He was a hotelier. He started out at the bottom of the ladder in hotels, worked his way up to eventually owning the Waldorf Astoria in New York and another one. And he also had a lot of other things going on. He was like the president of like different boards and things like that. So that's how he got his money in hotels. But the story with this castle is that he built it for his wife, and before it was finished, she passed away. So he halted all building, and they never built added another stone or did any more work to it. He just left it and stayed that way for a long period of time. Eventually, I think some family members got to work on it, or it changed hands, and some things happened, and I think it went into disrepair for a while, and now an organization owns it, and we can appreciate it. But see, so how he got his money and the interesting story behind the castle. And so here's a little bit of a look at the outside, and then we'll go inside and take a look. But there's a couple of neat little things about this castle that I like, both on the outside and the inside. Like, of course, the beautiful stonework. See it as we're approaching it. And the inside, this, what do you call this? Is this a foyer? With the grand staircase that splits into a Y. There's a name for that. And you can see all the way up, all the various levels in the castle. That's just wonderful. So imagine guests coming in and seeing this, walking through the main doors and just with seeing this in the stained glass window at the top, and I'll show you that stained glass window. But just remarkable. And I think we're coming up on the ballroom. Where is it? Right here, right? The beautiful parquet floor and the organ. But another interesting thing about this castle is that on the top floor is a nice balcony. And in these castles, they love the balconies, just the views. There's always were beautiful views with these castles. That was important. A thing they like, because you almost always built a castle on the top of a hill. So from there you had a beautiful view. But another thing about this castle is that they've preserved a lot of the original stuff in terms of the blueprints and the architect's plans and stuff like that, and they actually have them on display upstairs, and we'll take a quick look at those. Here's some of this stuff. See the artifacts and the pictures, a little bit about the family and the people, the history, the building of it, and see the floor, the blueprints. Isn't that great? I took pictures of all of these because I'm going to need these for reference. But that's it, and let's now, I think next we go out on the balcony. So that's it. Listen, we'll look at some pictures inside Boldt Castle, but I wanted to say a couple of things now. My count is somewhere around 12 or 13 castles, meaderies and blacksmiths and museums, and so I've got a lot of videos, a lot of pictures from a lot of interesting places that I visited so far. I'm still along the eastern seaboard, but I'm making my way slowly west. So that's all coming. I have a lot of stuff for you. This series as I cross America from east to west, and I'm not just going a straight line. I'm zigzagging to cover a lot of different things. It's going to be fun if you're interested in medieval America. I guess I made that term up. I coined that phrase. I guess you're interested in America. You ever thought you wanted to take a trip across America? Well, here you go. I'm doing it, and you can follow along as I do it with a theme. See, there you go. Isn't that beautiful? So, and the captain of the ship let me steer it for a little bit. So, I got a lot of stuff coming. I wanted to say one more thing. So, as we finish this day with I was exhausted on that day, finish this day with these two castles, and we head on out to see more things, I wanted to say a couple of things. Somebody said to me, I'm building a castle. It's kind of a big thing, right? I mean, how do you make something like that happen? Well, I don't know. I'm learning. But then, I say to people, well, you know what? I'm taking the next several months all summer, and I'm going to be adventuring around America. And people say the same thing then. Well, you know what? Wow, that's a pretty big goal. How did you make that happen? Well, I don't know. I made it happen, and I'm doing it, and same goes for the castle. I'll figure it out, and I'll make it happen. I'll make this castle happen. If you want to contribute and you want to help, you can spread the word on Facebook or on your social media, tell people about it, follow along, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment. All these things help. If you want to help financially, you can help me on Patreon. It's a dream. It's coming true. So I'm doing it, and I'm going to do the castle too. So I thank you very much for watching. Stay tuned. A whole lot more stuff coming as we adventure around America. As we adventure around medieval America. Oh, wait, are there castles in America? Yeah, there are.